Discover. What's up? How you doing? Good to see you. I just want to keep everybody in tune with what's going on. There's a lot going on around us. There's a lot going on across from us. There's a lot going on in front of us. There's a lot going on the side of us. And I'm talking countries, states, people, religion, politics, marriages, churches, everything. There's so much transition going on. Do you understand? So much what? Transition going on. Now, in this phase that we have everything going on, a lot of people are becoming afraid because they don't know the unknown. And out of all the books in the world, the Bible is the biggest book that told us to not become faint out of fear. But people are becoming fearful. And they're becoming so fearful that they're joining in groups. And they are getting together and call themselves developing a group to save them. But that group may not agree with your lifestyle. That group may not agree with some of the choices that you want to do. Just like medical marijuana became legal many places. I'm learning in Florida, if you're somebody who supports it, that people are trying to stop you from using it because how they feel. Even though you can go and get, 21 ID or medical marijuana card, depending upon what the state laws are, their bylaws, people are actually turning against people. I say, wow. And these aren't little people. These are people in high positions. Let's say we have not the NCAA, not the all black American group, not them kind of groups, but we have groups that are subtitled to them, which means they're trying to derive from what they know they are capable of and trying to be better. Now these upcoming groups have a different phase because things have changed. A lot of people are not caring. A lot of people was like just for themselves, but we was already told men will be lovers of themselves. So if you know all this knowledge, people cannot fault you when you fight for your lifestyle and your rights. Because the knowledge has been given. You'll faint out of fear, but I know to take my time and let God do the rest of the work. But in this change, I have seen even homeless people get together and they create a group and they watch each other. I straight out of their mouths, I heard it, and you see them in groups too. But it's okay, but who's watching over you? Who's making sure that you're doing something that's safe, not unsafe for somebody else? Because if you're not aware of whatever you form and where it could lead you, if you don't have a mission, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have the outcome of when or what or how or even when you're trying to develop to make things change, how does it affect people around you? Is this change is going to be hard on someone else because you don't like what they're doing? What are you going to do? What is the makeup? How do y'all fight? Is it physical? Is it verbally? Is it mentally? All that is in the form of change. But a lot of people don't know how to do change. Because if I only know how to fight, then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to fight. But if I know how to word and how to write things and how to express myself, to others, I'm doing it in a way where nobody's getting hurt. A lot of people don't know how to do that without hurting somebody, without seeing somebody fall. If somebody falls, the fall is for themselves. Because they tried something that didn't work, but it doesn't mean they cannot get back up and make things happen to make it work. Have you been there? Have you seen others there? And even though people are developing their groups to continue to move on, to continue to grow, you have to be aware to know that this group may be for you or may be against you. And in no facts, you have to do things to protect yourself. First of all, knowing how far this group can go. Knowing who can go against this group, again, just in case this group tries you. There's a lot of groups out there that are developing, and there's a lot of old groups that are falling down. I didn't even know but learned that there was a church that represent weapons. That you can have weapons. All the time we were told, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. It was actually a church that believed in carrying weapons. And now most of them are for protection. So even in that scenario, we saw how it changed many lives. Because for years you told us no, and all of a sudden you're saying yeah. So it's confusing. So now they're going to have to change things to make people trust again. Or say things in the word where we don't know because we don't know. Only God knows. But the knowledge was given to you and me and them. But in the end, we saw how man did change to save themselves. So if they can save themselves, and you're the same boat as them, you was also developed and made by the same creator, then you can save yourself. So in this video, I want you to take knowledge of the change and be aware of changes all around you. People are forming groups. And these groups are attacking people in other groups. We have so many groups out there. Black Lives Matters is one. That's a new one out there, and I've seen them on Facebook, on the news, and so many changes. I'll even find something to update you on how some people carry themselves one way, some people carry themselves the other way. But when you have an opinion, nobody should come against you because you have a right to a say. Now, if they come against you, that's because maybe the mentality is not there, where they know how to develop without being physical. And a lot of people are like that. People have demonstrations. People become physical. A lot of people don't know how to be at a demonstration. And one good thing for me, when I was in New York back then, when we was in college, the college students did a lot of demonstration. There was never what we going through now. There was never no police coming on, because it's how you do things. What are the words you're shouting out? Are you shouting out curses? Are you shouting out hate? Are you shouting out community? Let's save each other. Community, hear what I have to say. And then it draws you back, because you may find yourself like most of us chosen ones. We get ahead and then we end up falling short because there's somebody in that group that is around us, and they make sure we lose our position. This is what the group does. It's like a secret society group. The old secret societies have broken down, but there's new ones coming up. But it doesn't mean that you don't know, because everything that has been broken has been given. The information. The information is for us to use to embark upon a betterment for you, for your family, and for those around you, for those in your community. And the biggest community that I've come in touch with now is YouTube and other social medias that are there allowing people to express themselves and you to get this knowledge. Because whatever's happening in Utah, whatever happened in Texas, whatever happening in downtown South Carolina, somebody is on YouTube letting us know something. So I am very happy to have come across a platform where people are able to express themselves. Because as far as we know, hopefully we still have freedom of speech and certain things we could say or not say, even though there's a lot of people in government that are trying to take that away, and we're not blind to it. Trying to take away our rights. Taking away our rights, even privately. But those are things that God allowed us to get knowledge of. So we can become detailed, because some of us may join government. Some of us may join this form of man, body of man who govern over people. Because if they're inside a building, they don't know what's happening 24/7. That's why new characters come up to entertain, let them know what's going on. It's like going to a rally and you prepared, you got your sign, you know what you're going to say, you know who you're going to fight. But in today's, we're not going to rallies. We're going to jobs. We're going to schools. We're going to new places to enlighten us. But when you go there, know you're not alone. Competition is real. Competition is getting fierce. And no longer is the good guy winning. The bad guy is always showing up and showing out. These are the factors, but these are something that were told to us. All we have to learn is how to deal with it, how to combat it in a way that it doesn't affect anybody physically, because you want nobody to hurt you physically, but how to make things happen in a way that I can get this message across, I can get help, and if the help is for me, it's also somebody else who's going through what you're going through, because they went against a certain amount of people, or they went against a certain class of people, or a certain lifestyle that you're living. So in order for you to be able to move on and do what you want to do, you have to be able to observe the things all around you. And I keep talking like that because it took a minute for me to understand. And when I talk about things that I have done in the community, things that I have done with some of the churches in the community, people who have taken me to the church, to rehearsal, to do, just things that people do when you're coming up. And even though I may not see those people, I see where them people are. They up, but they had to have you around them. And all you have to find out is why. What is it about me that they have to be around me before they come up? Because whatever it is, you are the fight and the answer and the strength to coming up. All you got to do, and all I got to do, is stop those from coming across and receiving what shall be mine. And I want you to receive what shall be yours. So in the next SPO, in the next episode, in the next understanding, and in the next talk, I want you to understand that it's very important that you are aware of your surroundings and not be letting people tell you things without finding answers, because I find that true. People will tell you something and they're not telling you for you to become better. They're telling you because they know you're doing something wrong. So nowadays, even at yesterday, I think I was on the bus and I overheard a conversation. This is happening a lot. You tell me this ain't happening. You're a very experienced person. You go to work. And you working near somebody who telling you what to do, but they're not doing it right. And in this conversation, this guy was saying how he was hired and he had to teach somebody how to do everything. I found out myself too. They're not doing it correctly, the correct way. They're doing it another way. And sometimes that could happen, but you still have to fall within the same mind frame, especially if there's a corporate and there's a franchise or there's a private. There's certain aspects that each one have to fall through. You just can't do things your way. They got even guidelines they have to follow. And you don't want to fall short and allow that to stop you from growth. And that is what's stopping a lot of people from growth. So continue to BS discover. We don't want no BS. This is not a channel for counseling or anything like that. This is a channel where I express myself from my experiences in life, from what I've done in life, and if it can be compatible to what you're going through, and if you can walk through like I walked through, then please take the time and tell the BS to get away from you. Until next time, know that everything around you is not real. Everything is, like I said, incredibly changing our lives and our way of thinking. In this book that I have and I've been reading, it talks about certain principles, and I'm going to leave you with this. I always thought about it. That's why I'm reading this book, and I'm saying, oh my God, we got so much information, especially when it comes to the male and the female, but that's the next video. But in this video, the polarity, the principle of polarity is, let's say there's hot and cold. There's two polars. It's either got to be hot and cold. But the reality is, everything that is true, there is force to it. Because things changes. We don't know the whole remedy of it all, but we know how man detailed things for us to understand. And in this understanding, let me share this with you before you leave. Hot and cold is not the truth. In measurement, we say hot and cold, but actually it's one thing. Is it not? We say hot and cold, but it's one thing. We talking about measurement of from cold degrees to hot. That's it, from cold to hot. It's a measurement, it's numbers. But it's all on 1 degree. It's not separate. But we say cold and we say hot. But the truth is one ladder of measurement that measures the coldness to the warmness to when it's hot. But there's warm in between there. But we don't say nothing about that. We say cold and hot. So I always knew there was a force to everything that is true. And this book makes so much understanding. So I got the archive and I got online, and I made sure that I put it down in there because it is really teaching and really impressing. And it may impress you in the way you've been thinking, and you wonder, wow, I'm not the only one that knew this, that had this fixation on things in life. And that's when you know there's nothing wrong, but it's time for you to get on the go. Until next time, go out there and be